Please, please, please give a warm round of applause for our next speaker, Alexander Jimenez.
Hello, ladies. Thank you so much for being here today. And thank you to Kelly for putting together such an amazing event. It's my first time attending the Women's Travel Fest, and I think that we've just been overwhelmed with inspiration and motivation as travelers. So thank you, all of you, for being here. And I'm happy to share this experience with each and every one of you. So today we're going to be talking about packing light. And the very first thing that I want to know from the wonderful crowd here is, who joins me on team carry on only? Put your hands up. Wow, that is impressive. That is very impressive. And now, who is on the other team? Raise your hand if you overpack all of the wrong things. Travel with a carry-on just for your shoes, or carry-on just with your beauty products. I know you're out there. So my name is Alex, and I am a reformed overpacker. I've been there, I've done that, and you know what? I hated feeling the way I did when I traveled with all the wrong things. So I hope that the things that I share with you today will help to provide some insight and some principles that you can utilize, even if you don't travel carry-on only, just to downsize what you bring so you can have a more relaxed and stress-free experience, because that's really what it's all about, being prepared and being confident as a traveler. So a little history, a little backstory on me. I actually quit my corporate job in 2008, January of 2008, and I took a 3-month sabbatical to travel the world. And those 3 months somehow turned into almost 9 years of full-time travel. I don't really know how that happened, but I caught the travel bug. India is totally life-changing in April of 2008, and then I ended up just traveling long-term. So throughout that journey, about 4 years into it, I decided that I was so tired of the way I was traveling. I was tired of picking up my heavy backpack every other day, every single day, and it was so heavy. I looked like a pregnant turtle. I had a giant backpack that weighed between 13 to 15 kilos, 18 kilos if I had souvenirs, which I usually was buying a bunch of souvenirs while I was on the go. But I was traveling with all the wrong things, and I was really tired of it. And also, not just overpacking all the wrong things, but packing things that I wasn't happy with. Because in 2008, 2009, when I started traveling, and I went online to look for tips on how to pack, what I found were lists on the Lonely Planet Thorn Tree Forum, old school, if anybody remembers that, on the Lonely Planet Thorn Tree Forum that suggested that I take 3 quick-dry teas, 1 pair of convertible pants, and 3 pairs of underwear I could flip inside out. So I know there are a lot of hacks on how to save space and travel underwear and everything, but that is not one of the ones that I feel comfortable using. So I realized that the tips online were not for me, and that there was probably a traveler that looked sort of like him giving those tips. And I didn't feel comfortable with that. I knew that I wasn't the only one out there. I was a backpacker, I was a budget traveler, and I was staying at hostels. So in 2011, after I'd been on the road full-time for about 4 years, I started interviewing other female travelers and asking them, well, are you happy with what you packed? What are your best packing tips? What are some things that worked for you? What do you wish that you had done differently? And as I spoke to the different women at hostels, at different restaurants, or wherever I was traveling, I realized that there was a problem and that it was something that was very easily avoided. And it might sound trivial, and packing a suitcase might really sound like something trivial, but when you're not comfortable, when you're not feeling confident, that really impacts your travels. Especially as a solo female traveler, you want to walk around the world with your head held up high. You want to feel confident, and you don't want to feel stressed out about what's in your suitcase. So On August 2012, after spending a year researching, talking to people in person, which was easy to do at hostels back then because nobody had iPhones. I didn't even own a phone. So we actually spoke to each other, and after researching, writing everything down for a year, on August 2012, sitting in a traveler house in Koh Samui, Thailand, with the help of those other travelers, I was able to launch Travel Fashion Girl, which was very well received very quickly on. And now, after 6.5 years, we now have over 1 million monthly visitors on the website. Or no, we're almost to 1 million monthly visitors. We're almost there. So it's so close. So it is a very relevant topic for women. So one of the biggest secrets to traveling lighter is to be prepared, to research, to be informed, and also having a strategy, which in this case is a capsule wardrobe. And if you're wondering what a capsule wardrobe is a snippet, about 10 to 15 pieces of the clothing that's in your closet. Now, ideally, these are the 10 to 15 pieces that you really like to wear. How many of you have like that jeans and tee outfit, or just an outfit that you can wear all the time? You can wear that several times a week and it doesn't even matter because you just feel so comfortable. Well, somehow when we go to plan our trip for Paris, we have this romantic idea that we're going to be wearing these heels, and we're going to be so fashionable, and we're going to be sitting in a cafe taking Instagram pictures and looking amazing. So we pull out that really beautiful dress that's been sitting in our closet for 10 years, waiting for that special occasion. And that never actually happens because you didn't feel comfortable enough wearing it in those first 10 years. You're not going to feel comfortable actually wearing it on vacation or on your trip, because you should wear things that make you feel good about yourself. And in choosing those things, those are the things that make up your capsule wardrobe. So we're going to talk today about how to create a capsule, what are some things to consider, and at the end, I'm going to give you guys a demo and show you 2 capsule wardrobes that I've created. One that's for winter travel, and this is a cold weather capsule wardrobe, emulating the one that I packed for 10 days between Paris and London. And this is it's going to be a clothing capsule in a size 3XL, size 22 to 24. And then over here on my left, I have another capsule wardrobe featuring clothing for mixed weather, things that are going to be a sample capsule in a size 8 to size 6 through 8. Small, 6 to 8. So that way you can have different ideas on how you can pack and utilize these principles for your own clothing as well. So let's start out with the weather. This is the most basic thing to know about how to pack. Check the weather. Don't be the person that shows up in South Africa in winter and thinks that it's going to be hot and there's actually frost on the floor. And don't be me, essentially, back in July of 2008. So be prepared. Just check the weather. Look at the forecast in advance, because what the weather is in your city, your state, your country might not be the same where you're going. So always be aware. Check the extended forecast, and always check 3 to 7 days before your trip. Start paying attention, because you might be going to Europe in June and there might be a heat wave or there might be a rainstorm. So you want to adjust accordingly. Oh, and the wind chill factor. It might be 65 degrees and blue skies, but if it's windy, I know in London, the wind just goes through, or here in New York, everything feels so much colder. Always check the wind chill factor. The next thing to be mindful of is your activities. So do you know what you're going to be planning? For the most part. And even if you're a long-term traveler and you don't have the exact itinerary planned, you know the kinds of things that you like to do. You know that if you like nightlife, or if you like going to nice restaurants, or you like dancing, or you like hiking, you like working out, whatever that is that you're going to be doing, you know that in advance. So plan for things that are versatile. Try to choose tops, pants, things that can work in a variety of settings. Don't choose an item that you can only wear one time, unless you're going to go to a wedding or one particular thing. Try to find things that can be very versatile. Local customs. Another thing to be mindful of is, what are people wearing in the destination? Sure, it's, everybody wants to know what to wear in Paris. What are Parisian women wearing? And it's one thing to be informed as to, are people wearing jeans there? Are people wearing convertible pants in Sydney, which I found out, no, they weren't. And I wasn't prepared for that back in 2008. So be aware of what people are wearing, which is fine, just so you know. But also, in some cases, some countries are conservative, or even if you're going to be going into a religious site, such as the Vatican, you have to have your shoulders covered, your clavicle, your chest, and have your knees covered as well in some locations. So research in advance so you're aware and you can be prepared. It's just being mindful of the culture, and also that way you can walk confidently. Laundry. So how many of you, I know there's a lot of nomads and long-term travelers in here, who has done the sniff test with their clothing to make sure that you can wear it just one more time? So when you're a long-term traveler, or you've been traveling for a while, you tend to get comfortable with yourself, and you might rewear things several times. As long as it smells okay, it's wearable. And in other cases, you want to plan to do laundry about once a week. And to be honest with you, I traveled for like almost 9 years. I still travel quite a lot, but I rarely hand washed. I found that laundry services or laundromats were widely available. So jeans are great. You hardly have to wash them. Jeans designers even say, don't wash your jeans. So there are many ways that you can save space when you're traveling, and also consider the fact that you'll be doing laundry about once a week. Now, the most important thing when you're looking at your clothing is fabric. Fabric is a thing when people look and all my readers are talking about on the Facebook group during winter is, okay, packing for summer is so easy. The clothing is smaller, the fabrics are lighter. But for winter, it's so difficult. Well, it is difficult if you're packing chunky knit sweaters. It makes more sense to look for fabrics that make sense, that are warmer, that are lighter. So when you're deciding whether or not a clothing item, whether that should come in your suitcase, one of the things that I like to do is I like to figure out, well, is it light or is it heavy? Because I've even gone as far as actually weighing each and every one of my clothing items, my toiletry bag, my shoes, and choosing lighter weight options, because ounces, they all add up. And especially when carry-on limits are much lower now than they used to be, then you want to try to get your total weight to be a little bit lower. The next thing is, does this take up too much space? Is there an alternate option? For example, in the summer, you might like a nice, long, but comfortable maxi dress. Very nice for a travel outfit as well, comfortable to wear on a plane. But maxi dresses have a lot of fabric. So instead of choosing one made in a modal fabric, something it's a bit heavier, think about having a lightweight cotton, a very paper-thin cotton, or rayon. Look for alternate fabric, something that's not going to be quite as bulky. Now, this is one thing that also is another thing to consider, especially when you're thinking, well, is this fabric light or thick? Is it sheer? Is it transparent? I've seen so many colorful underwear around the world, and maybe in a city like New York or London, nobody would bat an eye. But this might be probably a bit more problematic if you're in a conservative area. So you also want to be mindful about that. And a tip is, if you are wearing white, the color closest to your skin tone is the best color to wear under white, not white undergarments. So that's a tip, guys. Okay, back to the weather. I can't emphasize the weather enough, because that always seems to be the root of the majority of the problems. So is something appropriate for the weather? Are you going to be comfortable? And when you're considering the weather also, I'm from LA. It's like 55 degrees is my winter, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this is the end of the world. It's ridiculous. I go to LA. I live in England now, but I go to LA and my friends are like, oh my God, you just came at the worst time. It's going to be 65 degrees right now. We're all dying. And I just look at them like, you seriously don't even know. But is it appropriate for the weather? You might come from a destination where things are hotter, where things are colder. So the way you feel is a little bit different. So the clothing you'll need will also vary from what somebody else might need. So will you need a leather jacket? Will you need something like this that's waterproof, that's got omni heat protectant, that's gonna keep you warm? Everybody feels the cold differently. So now that we've looked at the different principles and the different ways to choose clothing. Now let's actually talk about that capsule wardrobe. We started talking about a capsule. How exactly can you create the perfect capsule? So the perfect capsule wardrobe consists of things that can be worn in a variety of settings. Something, again, you don't want to take one piece that you can wear only one time, unless you're planning to ship it back home. And you can do that as well. But try to find things that are versatile, that are movable. I mean, we're walking like 8 hours a day, you're sightseeing, you're not gonna have time to go. And for the most part, you won't have time to go back and change your clothing. So you wanna have things that can just transition. You can wear them to go hiking. You can wear them to go out for dinner. And of course, avoid just-in-case items, because just in case a snowstorm hits in Hawaii, well, checking the weather and you'll know the answer to that. Mixing and matching. So mixing and matching doesn't have to consist of an all-black wardrobe, unless you're like me and you love an all-black wardrobe. If you love color, don't change what makes you feel comfortable, because that's what you have to bring, things that you like. So in this case, in this picture, the girl's wearing a pink top with a red skirt, and it's very complimentary. So it doesn't mean that you have to also just choose the same colors. You can mix and match, but keep that in mind. This also has to do with not just the colors, but the clothing items, as far as if you're wearing a long sleeve top. Can you also wear it, maybe wear it with shorts and with trousers, maybe with a skirt? So consider all the mix and match options. Because actually, if you're just traveling with about 10 items, if you plan very strategically, it's actually enough for up to 30, like 30 days, 20, 30 days of outfits. So you can do more with less when you're following all these different principles. Now, talking more about color, in this picture, this woman has a really great monotone but beautiful outfit going on, but you don't also have to wear the same shade. And if you want to experiment more with color, you can go on Pinterest, and there's so many good options, because you might have a blue top and blue bottoms, but the blues might be different shades. So in that case, you might want to consider having 30 to 50% of your travel wardrobe be neutrals. So you can choose warm tones such as khaki, brown, tan, and kind of go a warm neutral route. Or you can also go with neutrals in a cooler tone such as gray, white, navy, or black. And then mix and match those neutrals with prints or colors or other things. Now, this is one of the biggest mistakes that I made in the past is, okay, I'm ticking all the boxes. This shirt is lightweight. It's going to keep me cool in the summer. It's perfect. These pants also, it works perfectly. Try on the outfit, look in the mirror, I take a picture. It's good. Get to my destination. Oh, this looks like crap, because I actually didn't try it on with the shoes. So try your outfits on, have a look. And it's a really good way. I actually do like sharing Clueless. You know, the camera doesn't lie, and you actually get a chance to see what something will look like in front of a camera, especially if you love Instagramming and you want to document this on your blog, you might get a better idea. Plus, I also like to take pictures of my outfits in advance, because it means that when it's something less that I have to think about, and I can just look at the pictures and think about what I'd already planned. So, oh, I wanted to wear that jacket with those jeans and those shoes. Okay, perfect. I don't have to think about it. So try things on in advance, take pictures, have fun with it. And there's pictures. So make sure you do that, guys. So you'll be surprised how many outfits you can actually make with just 10 pieces of clothing. It's all about travel fashion math. 7 tops times 3 bottoms equals 21 outfits. And that's usually my easiest formula that I always think about. Well, if you're traveling for a week, the very minimum, you could just take 7 tops, 3 bottoms. You have 1 top to wear every single day without having to do laundry. And then with your bottoms, you can just rewear 2 of them twice and 1 of them 3 times. It's easier to rewear bottoms because they don't get as dirty. We sweat a little bit less. And that way, if you keep your bottoms neutral colors, then you can have more colorful tops and vice versa. And if you're someone that loves traveling with dresses, well, that's pretty easy as well. Just take 7 dresses. So 7 to 10 pieces, and that could just be your core. So today I'm going to show you 2 different options with capsules with different clothing items. But one more thing before I do that, shoes. Yeah, I'm a girl that loves shoes. So this was one of the hardest things for me to accept. But when you're traveling, style totally doesn't even matter, because if your shoes hurt you, your trip, you will just hate your trip. I remember I wore really cute but uncomfortable designer flats walking around Paris. I wanted to just look fashionable and fabulous. And then I couldn't walk after the first day. All I wanted to do was sit in my hostel or my Airbnb and not leave. So I was in Paris though. I wanted to walk. I wanted to see the sights. So I forced myself to suffer and walk. And even at that point, I couldn't even change into comfortable shoes anymore because I was in pain. It actually took me a month to recover from that trip. And it was actually compression socks that helped my feet get better, surprisingly. So always, always choose comfort first before style when it comes to shoes. Oh, let's go back to that. So 3 pairs. How in the world can you just take 3 pairs of shoes? So always, first pair of shoe, sightseeing. You want to consider the most important shoe that you're going to take is the one that you're going to be taking to wear to go walking, to sightsee. You're going to spend 8 hours on your feet in Rome. You're going to be going all over, Bangkok, going to different markets. You're going to be seeing everything. You don't want to sit down, and you see more when you're exploring on by foot. So find shoes that are a neutral color that can mix and match with all the outfits that you want to sightsee in, and just plan to wear that shoe as like the majority, with the majority of your outfits. The second pair is what I call the activity shoe. So everybody has that activity. I work out every day, I go running every day, or I like dancing. I like going out to nice restaurants. So take that activity shoe. That's your number 2. It's a shoe that should also be neutral and mix and match. And neutral doesn't mean it has to be a black pair of shoes. It could be tan. I love a leopard print or a snake print shoe. For me, that's a neutral. So just take something that will match with all your clothing. But with the activity shoe, as long as it works with whatever clothing you're wearing for those activities, then that's okay. Third pair of shoe, I call it the wild card because it might just be a fun pair that you want to take, that you want to dress up, or you want to have a little bit more style. The ones that you wear in the Eiffel Tower to have that Instagram shot, then take it off and wear something more comfortable. But the third pair of shoe, your wild card, can also be the one that you choose if you want a second sightseeing option. And that's really good because when you're on your feet all day, it actually feels really good to be able to switch out and have a second option for sightseeing shoes. Or in this case, if you're traveling to a destination where it's going to be warm and also cold, you can have one cold pair of sightseeing shoes and one hot weather pair of sightseeing shoes. In this case, for me, it's these. So I would take a pair of comfortable walking sandals and then a pair of black ankle boots or waterproof ankle boots. So 6 factors when you're choosing shoes. We talked about comfort. Can you walk in them for a long time? And also, guys, one thing to consider, you can have the most comfortable shoes in the world, but if you haven't walked in a while, I know sometimes I'm just sitting there blogging, working on my laptop all day long for like days at a time, and I'm not as active as I should be. So if you're walking on your feet, if you're walking, sightseeing, you're also going to feel uncomfortable. So you have to keep that in mind. Sometimes you just can't avoid having some foot pain. But there's ways to actually make yourself to soothe it and avoid it being really bad by getting comfortable shoes to begin with. Make sure that they're supportive. Some people need more arch support than others. Try to find shoes that are narrow versus wide, something that accommodates your foot. Really get to know what works for you. Also, your weight. You want to look at the shoes that you're choosing. How much weight will they actually add to your suitcase? In this case, I like to travel with boots or the heaviest pair of shoes on the flight and then pack the lighter pair so that way it can balance out the weight on the suitcase. Durability. Waterproof shoes are I'm obsessed with them because I walked in, it was with my husband and his family, and we had just been budget backpacking in Southeast Asia for a while. So I didn't have any shoes. So I bought some cheap boots just because it was going to be colder. And as I walked into this really nice restaurant and it was raining, the soles of my shoes just came undone and fell apart. And it was mortifying. So I just kind of just moved a little bit inside the restaurant. So make sure your shoes are quality. Make sure that they're durable. These are waterproof shoes. These are actually waterproof shoes as well. So there's different brands. Comfort brands are actually getting so much better with offering stylish options. So Have a look at that. Functionality, are they versatile? And style, it's not about being fashionable. It's about choosing a style that makes you feel good and that works with your personal style preferences. So, my ultimate carry-on packing hack is actually packing cubes. Because when I started Travel Fashion Girl, when I was a long-term traveler and I wanted to figure out, well, how exactly can I downsize my stuff? I showed you guys me being the pregnant turtle. I didn't want to be that person anymore. I would see male travelers at train stations with a tiny little backpack, and they looked so free with just getting up and going. And I wanted to feel the way that they looked. I wanted to feel free, and I wanted just to be able to go and not have baggage dragging me down. So aside from all the tips that I showed you with choosing a capsule wardrobe, packing cubes were actually also the tools that I used to downsize the clothing into a smaller bag. So this was really big for me, and actually I created a YouTube video about my packing strategy, rolling, then kind of squishing my clothing inside packing cubes, and then using the packing cubes not just for organization, but also for compression, which I'll show you guys in a little bit. But by using this method and showing it on YouTube, I've actually been able to help over 20 million female travelers over the past 6 years travel lighter or travel carry-on only as well. So they are amazing. And well, I love them so much that about a year and a half ago, I started my own travel accessories brand called Compass Rose Travel Accessories. And our anchor product, of course, had to be packing cubes. So I spent 3 years trying to develop the perfect packing cubes because there was no way I was gonna go and put my name behind something that wasn't as good, if not better, than the brands that I'd been using as a traveler all those years. So I feel good and confident that I can say, well, actually, mine are better. And I'll show you a little bit about why and also how I was able to actually use them accordingly. And in this case, the way I improved packing cubes was by actually adding numbers to the 4-piece set that I would always use. So I used 3 to 4 packing cubes, and now I added numbers. I made the 4-piece set have 2 colors, so that way it can maximize organization. So now my number 1 could maybe have my tops, number 2 can have my bottoms, 3 can have dresses or winter accessories, and 4 I usually put underwear, pajamas, or those extra things. Or another option would be if you're going, like for example, 4-day conference, you have your Friday outfit in number 1, your Saturday outfit number 2, whatever, Sunday outfit number 3, and so forth. And you can also use them in a variety of different ways. But more than anything, it's about the actual way to use them by rolling and actually using a smaller size. A lot of people say, well, why that size, Alex? Because it's the size that actually I've been using since 2013. It's a size that's helped the majority of my readers. So I know that it works. And you might look at it and think that's crazy, but the reason why it's smaller, because if you use a bigger packing cube, it's not really gonna have the compression benefits. And unless you're using just one larger one and kind of squishing everything in there, then you're just gonna have everything in one large cube, or like one compression sack. So by having it in smaller ones, then you can actually use it more efficiently. So let's talk about, let me show you guys some capsule wardrobe examples. And I mentioned earlier that I had 2 examples, one for cold weather and one for mixed weather. And the first one I'm going to show you is the sample wardrobe for London and Paris in winter. This is an exact replica of what I packed for my own 10, 12-day trip during winter, and Sydney, from a Travel Fashion Girl as well, is going to come up and help me so I don't make a giant mess of the stage like I normally do in a hotel. So first of all, let's start with what's in packing cube number 1. I need like a mic thing here. Okay. So packing cube number 1, I have in here, in this capsule, 4 merino wool sweaters that we're gonna take out and hang up. So if you have a look at these right here, you could see that they're kind of, if you open it up, rolling is great, but it's kind of, now it needs more space. But by actually using the packing cube and zipping it up, I'm actually able to compress things into a smaller space. Sorry. I'm like, sorry. Sorry. And then another way that I use packing cubes is that I actually, once everything's in here, so I push things down and stick some more things inside. So I can do more with less space. And of course, the ones that I made were have really hardcore zippers. They're 5RC zippers, structured material, strong mesh. That way you can use them for compression. So that is a benefit of having a quality packing cube. Because I'm not sure if for those of you who use packing cubes, sometimes while lightweight materials are really nice, but then you have a bulgy cube. So instead, with these, and you can stack them or lay them flat, and it kind of keeps everything more structured as well. So in my capsule wardrobe for Paris in winter, I personally packed 4 merino wool sweaters. So let me just open these up for you. I'm going to use a pink one. So this is the J. Crew merino wool tippy sweater. I don't work with them. I actually don't, I'm not representing these brands, guy, but this is one of the best sweaters ever. I literally always have this in my bag. This is merino wool, and earlier I think last year, J. Crew became a more size inclusive brand, which is great because then I was able to share this with my readers and share with more of my readers the fact that I love this sweater, and it was available up to a 3XL. So 4 of these, 1 for every day. But if you're cold, then something that I do is I would layer both of them together. And you might look at this and think, that fabric is not going to keep me warm. But it's merino wool, so it's a super fabric. So it's like the best fabric for traveling in cold weather because it's thin, but so much warmer than a big chunky knit sweater, which is never gonna fit into a carry-on anyway. So these are nice, lightweight, they keep you so warm. 2 of these, I think I had silk thermals, maybe 1 or 2 of these on, and this jacket, which is from Columbia, it's an Omni Heat jacket. It's also available through 3XL, I think XS through 3XL, and then with my knit hat, winter accessories, and my scarf, I was able to stay really warm and travel light. So let's get into that. So I'm gonna ask Sydney to help me hang everything up. So we've got the 4 sweaters. 4 of the exact same sweaters. You guys could probably get more creative with colors and everything, but in this case, I wanted function. I wanted functionality. What I like about these is that they're classic. They're just, you can kind of pair them with just about any bottom, a skirt, dress them up, layer them with a blouse, wear a blouse underneath. So they're really versatile. Actually, for New York, that's just what I did. I brought mine, and just nobody's really gonna see any pictures of what's underneath your jacket anyway. So that's what I have. So if you could please also hang these up. So 4 sweaters. Why 4? Because then I could just, in 10 days, rewear them, rewear each one every couple of days. And the other cool thing about merino wool is that you don't need to wash it frequently. It's scent repellent, and it also wicks away moisture, which for the cold, why it's nice to have that against your body, because if you're wearing cotton, for example, then when you're walking around, you're sweating, even in the cold, it can actually just keep you colder, because if you're wearing the wrong fabric, then it'll absorb the moisture, and then it doesn't matter how many warm layers you have on top, because you're still going to feel cold because the fabric closest to your skin is going to be moist. So this is another reason why merino wool is awesome. So I'm going to ask you to help me. Okay. And the other things that I took for my capsule wardrobe for Paris and London in winter were 2 pairs of trousers. Why 2 pairs? Because I could just rewear them. I actually do wear jeans. I like jeans. Not everybody likes jeans, but I do. And these are 2 really versatile items. These first trousers are Ponte knit pants. I think they're the Vera Wang, yeah. Simply Vera. These are some pants that my readers absolutely love, and they have them in a variety of colors, but it's kind of as comfortable as a legging, but it looks a bit smarter, a little bit more tailored. It has, they're a little bit more detailed, and I like a dark gray color because it can mix and match with all of my sweaters right here. So easy. 1 pair of trousers, done. So I'm gonna put these to the side. The other pair of trousers, these are another pair, like my readers love these jeans for travel. They're the Old Navy Rockstar skinny, stretchy jeans. They're super comfortable. So like, for example, like I would travel on the airplane with these maybe, but, and then wear these while I'm actually at my destination. And with these, I like to have a darker blue. I actually bought these because I like the fact that they had like a cute little ripped knee thing, but that's just for me, like my style preference. And then of course they're jeans, so they can mix and match with any one of these sweaters as well. So for me, I do travel with just like 2 pairs of pants. I think I only own like 3 pairs of jeans because I try to just have a smaller wardrobe in general. So that's what I would take. And this is an exact replica of the jeans that I did, of the clothes that I did pack for this trip. And aside from this, there's only one more thing I packed for this winter trip to Paris and London, and it was a blouse. So I'm gonna go ahead and open that up. And I wanted to take a blouse that was just a bit, I could have a dressier option should I decide to go somewhere a little bit nicer. And another reason why I like to have a blouse like this, a button-up blouse, is because you could wear it underneath your sweaters, or you could wear it over the sweaters. You can leave it buttoned up, buttoned down. You can leave it unbuttoned depending on what the weather's like, and it adds a little bit of something else. And this is just, I think I also bought it at Kohl's. It's just a synthetic fabric. It packs light. It's relatively wrinkle resistant. And for blouses and prints, they also disguise wrinkles a little bit more as well. So I really like a neutral wardrobe, guys, in general. It's just my style preferences. But if you like more color, you can do the same thing and just apply it to your own style. So just listen, these tips are really more so to understand the principles behind it and to apply them to your own wardrobe versus just kind of copying the exact same thing. So all in all, I had 2 trousers, 5 tops. It was a 7-piece capsule wardrobe for 10 days. And I just rewore the items. But I wanted to showcase this to you in this with this. That way you can kind of get an idea about how you can do it as well. And if you guys do like the sweater, merino wool is a bit pricier, so I like to buy them when J. Crew has sales, and they go to like 30 to 50% off. But awesome investment, and you can rewear them forever, so that's great if you're a traveler. Lastly, I forgot. Super important thing for winter travel are thermals. This is actually another key to packing light in the winter. It's not just about the merino wool, it's also about having thermals, especially if you get cold. You might not get as cold, I do. So in this case, I like to either get a pair of silk or merino wool thermals as well that you can wear underneath your jeans, underneath your trousers, underneath even leggings. You can pack a pair of tights the way that I have on, wear those under jeans, but having these the thinner fabrics, again, they're smaller, but they pack a punch if you choose the right ones. Avoid cotton thermals for the reasons I explained earlier. So you don't have to hang those up. We just put them to that. So then thermals, small capsule, really awesome jacket, of course the winter accessories. And then number 4, I'm not going to show you what's in there because it's underwear and bras and, just PJs. So I'll let you guys imagine number 4. So that is a capsule wardrobe for Paris and winter in Paris and London in winter, showcasing a size 3XL or 22-24 travel wardrobe. So now I'm going to show you one more capsule, and this is for mixed weather. So I'm going to put these, I'm going to move this over. Can I give this one to you? Okay, so now for the mixed weather. The main thing for mixed weather is, how am I doing on time? Okay. So for mixed weather, the main thing is that you want to take a variety of clothing, a variety of tops and bottoms that you can, again, mix and match and layer together. So in here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 tops. Essentially, that could be 7 tops, one for every day of the week, or you can then you can layer them together. So let's start by looking at, let's go with the merino wool. These are my merino wool sweaters, the ones that I wear everywhere. So I always have 2 of these because, again, for the reasons I explained, they're warm, they're versatile, they're easy. So 2 of those that can be worn under or over 2 blouses. So So I'd probably put this olive one with the black one, and then the gray one with my navy blouse. So this is just easy. It packs light. You can dress it up, dress it down. I have the exact same top in another color as well. It's just my wardrobe. Just I find something I like and I just get it all and don't have to shop again. So another blouse, button down, same exact thing. Can layer it together. So now I have some options to wear if it's cold, if it's mild, together if I want to change it up, add style, adjust it for the weather. I like to have a basic turtleneck like this. This is actually a layering turtleneck. So this can actually be worn, if you're comfortable wearing it on its own, that could just be a standalone top, or you can wear it underneath the merino wool sweaters, underneath the blouses as well. And lastly, to account for warmer days, I have 2 sleeveless tops. And this, because it's a navy print, it could technically also be worn underneath the navy blue blouse, the button-down blouse, wherever it is. And so that way you can layer it underneath and then have the button-down act as a lightweight layer. Instead of like having a jacket, then you can just have a lightweight layer. And then this wasn't my favorite color to put with this capsule, but I didn't have another one to bring, so I brought this one. So it's another sleeveless top. So that way you've got some clothing for cold weather, for warm weather, for mixed weather. Number 2, so on mixed weather trips, I do like to also bring dresses. I'm not sure if my dress is actually number 2. I might be lying. It's a number 3. So number 3, I have 2 dresses. And I will show you guys. I brought 2 options. Not everybody might feel comfortable wearing white, and I probably wouldn't wear white to travel, but I didn't have my black one, so I just brought this one. And they're 2 dresses. This is one of the popular travel dresses that my readers actually recommended. They love this dress, and it's available in a million colors. It's also available in different size ranges as well. So you can wear this on its own if it's hot, and then layer it underneath a button-down dress, like a shirt dress like this, as a different style option. Have it inside if it's warmer, if it's colder. I like a button-down dress like this because it also acts like a tunic, or it could be a summer cover-up or whatnot. So very versatile. It's called, the brand is a Nordstrom brand. It's called Leith, Leith, and it's like the Leith dress from Nordstrom. Like, oh, all the readers like, oh my God, this is the best dress ever. I buy a lot of things that the readers recommend because ultimately, like, I don't want to be the expert. It's the readers are the experts, the community, and they have amazing recommendations. So really quickly, I'll show you the other couple of options. A layering tank top just to wear underneath things. Not necessarily, I don't want to wear it on its own, but if you feel comfortable, that could be also a top. Thermals, because thermals will make everything much warmer. And that's a thermal top. I also have a thermal bottom. These are merino wool. Definitely more merino wool, again, higher price point, but it's so worth it. You can wear it forever, and it just packs a punch with warmth. I can't say it enough. And then, of course, that brand is actually a brand that's gone out of business. It's called Ibex, but a lot of female travelers like Icebreaker. That's one brand, and minus 33, I think, is another one. There's also silk thermals from Silk Body, and I use, like, if I'm gonna go somewhere it's really cold, I'll take the silk thermals plus the merino wool thermals as well. And then, of course, like I said, 2 pairs of jeans. These are like 2 out of 3 jeans that I own, so they can kind of mix and match with everything. And number 4 has the unmentionables I'm not gonna show you guys. So I'm not sure where my clicker is. I've just kind of made a semi-mess. I can't figure out where I put it. But it's on the couch. Oh, there it is, thank you. So I wanted to give you guys an example of how it is possible to travel lighter. Maybe you want to take more things. Maybe you don't like these exact things. But the main point of the presentation is to show you how it fit into these bags as a minimum. It doesn't have to be the only thing. You can take a bigger suitcase. You might want bigger packing cubes. You might want a packing folder. But take the principles that I shared with you and apply them to things that will be more suitable for your needs. Because if I was able to pack these capsules in these small bags, then you could just put a few more things and adjust things accordingly so it works with you. And above all, for everything that you pack, I can't stress this enough. And I think this has been a theme throughout the weekend is you have to be confident. You have to pack the things that make you feel good, because it's not about being fashionable. It's not about walking around the world in heels and designer clothing or whatever it is. It's about walking around in the stuff that makes you feel good in your own skin. So to help you guys out, I'm also giving everybody at Women's Travel Fest a free copy of my e-course called Stop Overpacking. So just if you head over to travelfashioнгirl.com/WTF 2019, then you can download your free version. It's about $49 regular price, and it also includes these 3 new masterclass videos that I made. So we just recently revamped it. So everybody gets that course. So. We also have one last thing to give you guys, because I like to give gifts. Sydney's gonna go around and actually, can I borrow one of those? We have presents for you guys. We're giving away one of the 3 things that we have in the Compass Rose Travel Accessories brand. We have a booth back there if you guys haven't stopped by. But aside from the packing cubes, we also have a secret bra wallet. And this is because it's meant to replace a money belt. So it's a little a bra stash that's meant to be worn underneath your bra. So you can attach it to your bra strap, the middle of your bra, underneath your bra. I usually like to put it underneath my arm. I tie it into my bra strap, to my bra band, and then tuck it inside for extra protection. And it's not just about theft. It's like having something stolen from you is very unlikely. But what if you lose something, or you get left behind in a Belgium and Brussels train station with your grandmother, and your purse is on the coach bus tour? So it's nice to have an extra stash of cash should that happen to you as well. So we've got some, Sydney, so if anybody would like one, Sydney's gonna go through right now and give some away, the RFID Compass Rose Secret Bra Wallet. Just put your hand out and she's gonna have some to give away as well. So thank you guys so much for having me here. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Kelly, and I hope you guys found that helpful.
Thank you so much, Alex. You get a bra wallet, and you get a bra wallet, and you get a bra wallet. I think it's really... What? Lola, I see you. I can't hear you. Yes, I have the mic for questions. I just was going to say really quickly, I think it's really awesome when you meet the people that you respect online and they turn out to be like funny, humble, lovely, kind people. And so I just am so happy that you joined us. I have the microphone for questions.
Hi, Alex. Thank you for a wonderful presentation. Been following you, as you know, since 2013, and I think you're fantastic. Thank you. My question is, and I know you didn't want to show us the unmentionables, but one challenge I have when I'm packing and I want to take, say, 2 bras, the one that I'm wearing on the plane, and then another, and I'm always like, they have underwires usually, so, or if they don't, then there's sort of like that kind of shaped cup that you don't want to, so how do you pack them safely so that they don't get all, crunched or disfigured, but they sort of work for you?
Hello. So what the readers, I actually asked this question to a lot of the readers as well, because I wanted to know how they packed, is what we all do for the most part is we put our underwires on this edge of the packing cube. And then what I do within the cup is that's where I put my underwear as well. So usually I take a couple of bras, nude and black, changeable strap thingamajigs, and then I try to wear the most comfortable one. Unfortunately, my bras are really uncomfortable. We do have some articles now on Travel Fashion Girl that with wire-free bras, including bras in like DD plus cup sizes and everything, but on the side. I hope that was okay.
Yes, I just want to say I love your black dress. Where did you get it?
Sydney, do you remember? I think it's, I got it at Nordstrom.
Okay.
I think it's Alexander Wang.
Okay, thank
So
you.
I wanted to have a special dress for you guys.
Okay, it's lovely.
Any other questions?
Hi, what are you doing about cosmetics?
So makeup. So for makeup and toiletries, I didn't go through that today because that's like a whole other million hours to talk about. But for the most part, again, versatility, things that can work in different ways. You know, if you can get creative, less makeup's always good. You know, natural makeup, lipstick. If you just have like a nice bright lipstick color, then that can actually also work to enhance overall. And then as far as toiletries and like foundation, concealers, is I buy reusable containers, not in a travel size like 3 ounce. Instead, I get like 5 grams, 10 grams. I have, actually, if you go to charlottefashionGirl.com/toiletries, I have an entire breakdown, but I use other containers because, you know, foundations come in a glass bottle, for example, like foundation, and then that's heavy and you don't really need as much. So if you start paying attention to the quantity of shampoo that you use, you know, body wash, concealer, anything else that's liquid, then you can start, then you'll know, you can put them in smaller containers, and then it actually is, it works. It's surprising. And I know there's some ladies in here that also are experts in travel, beauty, and makeup, so maybe they can share some tips as well.
One more question.
Thank you. How do you fit that all with the cubes? That's where I'm like, where do you put all your toiletries with the cubes there in the...
So I prefer to have a smaller toiletry bag, and I forgot to bring it today, but usually I put it just on the, kind of like either on top or on the side. I like to have a smaller one, and if I'm traveling for a long time, I don't bring things like shampoo and conditioner and shower gel. So that's where I save a lot of space. I'll buy it when I'm at the destination, or I'll use the hotels, or I'll ask the Airbnb, do you provide any of these things? So that way I don't have to pack them. So I do save a lot of space in that. So I just bring all the little things. And I can show you like a picture over there afterwards.
Awesome. One more round of applause, please, for Alex.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much.